In 1968, as supply convoys moved along dangerous routes like Highway 19 in Vietnam, ambush was a constant threat. The U.S. Army was facing a unique tactical problem. Traditional transport units didn't have enough heavily armored escorts to protect endless lines of supply trucks from sudden small arms fire and RPG attacks. So, young American soldiers did what troops have always done best in the field: they innovated. They took standard 2.5-ton and 5-ton cargo trucks, welded scrap steel to the beds, sandbagged the floors, and mounted whatever firepower they could get their hands on. What you're looking at right now is extremely rare, private 8mm color film from 1968. It shows a field-modified M35A1 gun truck, complete with a devastating M45 Quad 50 caliber Maxson mount. And painted right across the front armor plate in bold white lettering are 3 words that tell you everything about the dark humor of GI culture in Vietnam: Paris Peace Talks. Let's break down this footage frame by frame and take a look at the engineering, the firepower, and the men who crewed this extraordinary machine. As we look closer at the bed of this truck, you can see the centerpiece of its defense: the M45 Maxson mount. Originally designed during World War II as an anti-aircraft system to shoot down low-flying enemy planes, the Quad 50 found a whole new life in Southeast Asia. It packs 4 50 caliber Browning M2 heavy machine guns into a single electrically driven turret. Combined, these 4 heavy barrels could pump out up to 2,000 rounds per minute of devastating firepower. When an ambush opened up from the dense jungle, a gun truck equipped with a Quad 50 could completely saturate the tree line in seconds, neutralizing hostile positions before convoy drivers were trapped. Notice the construction of the truck itself. This is an M35 2.5-ton platform. In the early days of gun truck development around late 1967 and early 1968, the 2.5-ton Deuce and a half was the most accessible chassis available. However, adding hundreds of pounds of steel plate armor, heavy ammunition chests, and a massive turret put enormous stress on the engine and suspension. Eventually, many units transitioned toward larger 5-ton M54 trucks to handle the weight. That makes seeing an early M35A1 with a full Quad 50 setup captured on color film like this exceptionally rare. Now let's watch the guns in action. Here you see the crew running a live fire demonstration. Operating a Quad 50 was intense, hot work. The heat generated by 4 heavy barrels firing in unison meant barrels had to be swapped, and the massive 200-round tombstone ammo cans needed constant reloading by the crew. Look at the concentrated dust clouds kicking up. The sheer kinetic energy of 4 combined 50 caliber rounds striking the earth at once highlights why these trucks earned such legendary status among convoy drivers. To troops trapped in an ambush zone, hearing the distinct, heavy thud of a Quad 50 opening up behind them was the sweetest sound in the world. Here we get to see the crew. They're hanging out in the back of the steel truck bed, wearing sunglasses, cut-off shirts, and work boots, waving and throwing peace signs at the camera. And that brings us back to the name painted on the side: Paris Peace Talks. The formal peace negotiations began in May of 1968, but dragged on for years while troops were still fighting every single day. Naming a war machine packed with thousands of rounds of machine gun ammunition after a peace conference was classic military gallows humor. Out of the estimated 300 to 400 gun trucks built during the war, almost all of them were scrapped, stripped, or converted back to standard transport trucks before U.S. forces withdrew. Only one original Vietnam-era gun truck, a 5-ton named Eve of Destruction, is known to survive today in a museum. That makes original home movie footage like this an invaluable historical record of the men who built and operated them. If you or a family member served in a transportation corps unit, worked on gun trucks, or remember seeing Paris Peace Talks in theater back in 1968 or 1969, please drop a comment down below. We'd love to hear your stories and preserve that history. If you enjoyed this breakdown of rare archived military footage, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.